All right, now it's a podcast. Welcome to the Byron channel. You may choose to give them your real name or a fake name or no name at all.
My name is Adam the Cigar Man.
And today we're smoking cigars because we're in the pursuit of happiness. And for a period of time, we will be happy under the influence of nicotine.
Oh yeah. So when you were tweeting, what kind of conversations were you having with people?
Well, sometimes it was humorous, sometimes it was serious. So I would put it in three main categories. There would be like memes and jokes, there would be arguments with enemies, and then there would be serious discussions with allies. And so I think over time I started avoiding arguments more and more.
Just more like trolling.
Yeah, I mean, maybe some trolling, and maybe I'll post some silly memes, and I find some pictures and I post them, and then I try to put a funny caption on it.
Yeah.
And then sometimes we like have a running joke with me and the other dudes in the group. And like I was playing a certain role, like I would be a certain type of guy in the group, and like I embraced that role. I just decided to play along with it, even if it wasn't the full expression of myself. I was already anonymous, and so I had to avoid giving away my true self to some extent. But it was also an opportunity to reveal my true self. So that's how I would describe it.
Makes sense. You ever just want to
Want to do what?
take some risks?
Yeah, I mean, I had a conversation this morning. I was speaking to a college recruiter, and it was surprisingly deep. I told them about my interest in becoming a school teacher, and she told me about all the things that would be required. And I told her it seemed like too much effort. And
You straight up said that?
well, basically. And she's like, well, I know people who actually want to be school teachers, and they're willing to put in the effort and go take the time for it. So that means you're not really that interested in being a teacher. And I was like, well, I think you have a point, lady. Because I know, like, being a teacher's not the end goal for me. It's just...
And you guys just had this is a very logical conversation, or was she upset?
No, she was like...
Just being straight up with you.
Yeah, she's being real, which was surprising. I thought it would be in her agenda to just get me to sign up no matter what. But she wasn't acting that way.
Yeah, she's not making commission off of you or anything like that.
Right. So, anyway, I told her, I told her what my real goal is. My real goal is to create a great philosophical system, to combine mathematics with philosophy, metaphysics with game theory, and I told her about this in different terms, and she was very surprised, and she said it was a big project to take on, and I told her that I was kind of scared of really committing to it, and she said that if you are avoidant, you will be stagnant. And so as long as I avoid my great task, my great purpose, I will stagnate as a person. And I've been contemplating that for the rest of the day since then.
Yeah. I think for me, a little bit what I struggle with is what do I want to be exactly?
Oh yeah?
Because I feel like I kind of have an idea of how I want to work.
Okay.
I'm not sure what I want to work on.
Well, do you have any? The question I would ask is, do you have distinct ideas? Do you have ideas for things you can create that other people haven't created yet?
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's your lead. So I would say maybe focus on the product.
Yeah. Like, I recently I'm like interviewing again. And these are like good jobs reaching out to me, but I'm like not that motivated to like even put in an effort to really like get answers back from them.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't really care, but like I feel like there's a lot of good money on the table. Like, if I tried, it might be worth it. But I feel like you were saying, the effort involved is just too much.
Right.
For like, and I don't really feel like doing it.
Yeah. And like,
I don't really care.
Some people might criticize us and say that we should put in the effort, but I'm kind of convinced that like your intuition is supreme.
Yeah, it's like, even if you got the position, would you even be happy doing that?
Right.
It's like, it's not even your true calling.
Yeah. If it's not your true calling, then it's not worth much effort. Basically.
Yeah, even if it is a lot of money.
Yeah.
But man, those golden handcuffs are nice. At least for a little while. The excitement.
This reminds me of two different types of things. Women and philosophy.
How even is yours burning? It's like not burning even on the edge here.
I'm not sure.
It's alright.
Today we're smoking two different types of cigars. This cigar is called the White Series Monte Cristo. My boy Adam here has the light Romeo and Juliet.
Got my watch. This watch cost $1,000, guys.
No cap.
Just kidding.
All cap.
It costs $30. Well, $35.
Okay. Slightly less cap.
This is like this is a casual watch. You don't even care if you bump it against things. That's what's nice.
If you have a child, you'd be willing to give it that watch.
Yeah, I'd be like, take the watch. There's nothing, you can't even access the internet. It's so low. It's like high tech but low tech. Actually, I wonder if it does have internet capabilities. Like, how much can they give you for $35?
Can you watch videos on it? on your smartwatch?
It's a touchscreen though. That's incredible.
Yeah. It's quite remarkable what
it's
our
taking
technology.
my blood oxygen right now.
Wow.
I don't even think my Apple Watch can do that.
There you go, bro. I mean, what brand is it?
I'm not gonna say their names unless they pay me.
That's a good policy.
So if you're out there and you're watching, you know that this is your watch. Reach out to me.
Give him at least $1,000. Okay, maybe 20. It depends. Depends on the view count. But send him $20 to show you're serious, and then negotiate a product deal. Get up to 1,000, and
I'm pretty cheap right now because I don't get that many views. So if you just pay me $1, actually.
Same for me. I can do a
Tesla watch.
Yeah. I mean, at least to start with.
Oh, the results were in 98% SpO2.
I think that's pretty healthy. You know, there's a healthy range. You want to be at least above 92%. I did some research about 3 years ago about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then it should be good. Is it ideal to be 100 or something? Or like, what's
I mean, not necessarily.
just above 92? You're good.
Yeah, because I mean, your blood has to be more than oxygen.
You probably don't want to be at 92 because then you're like close to being at 91.
Right.
So you probably want to be like a good buffer zone.
92 is at risk, basically. If you're below 92, you're like definitely in trouble. Basically.
I can measure my heart rate too, so let's check
Wow.
out what that is.
We're gonna get some data today.
Is the cigar affecting my heart rate?
Probably.
74 beats per minute. Wow, that's really good. That's really good.
I think so. It's not extreme.
It's not too high.
You only 14 above 60.
Yeah, 60's probably like you're doing good, like really good.
Yeah. So every 30.
Athletes are like 40.
What?
Yeah.
Resting?
Athletes like 40 or sub 40 rest. Yeah. Their hearts are strong, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, at least like elite runners. I don't know about all athletes. I would say. I'm also like, think about these big guys. Like okay, a squirrel's heartbeat can be anywhere between 200 to 800 beats per minute,
Wow.
depending on what they're doing.
Wow.
Our heart rate can be anywhere between like 60, like me and you, like 60 to 180, maybe 200 if we're really panicked.
Wow.
And then what about Shaquille O'Neal? He's bigger than us and a squirrel. What's his heart rate?
So it must be significantly less.
Because the way his system works is like it's a big, so it needs like a strong beat.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, so the heart has to like build up so it can exert more pressure, which to exert more pressure you have to slow down the heart rate. Possibly.
Okay.
That's But I mean I could see how speeding up the heart rate might do the same thing effectively.
Right.
You contract just as much but faster.
Okay. I was thinking about something else.
What are you thinking about?
I'm thinking about making another video with Sean.
What was the first video?
No, I never made a video with Sean, but
Oh,
I'm
like
just,
okay, I thought you made a video previously with Sean. I was like, huh?
no, I mean that'd be great.
You probably should. Maybe like this might be how you pop off if you get Sean.
Yeah, I need to set up the camera in a suitable place, and then basically just interview Sean or something. Maybe I'll get some tobacco. We can just smoke tobacco in the garage or something. Sean is such a character. I can turn him into a product, at least partially.
For sure. There's a lot to say.
Right.
You can just talk forever.
Yeah. For me, I feel like I've heard all of it, most of it, most of what he tends to say. But for the audience, it'll be the first time. So for them, it's fresh.
Yeah.
Right. But anyway, I think God's trying to communicate to me through my computer hardware.
Like get off the computer.
Well, kind of like my games have been like malfunctioning a lot recently. Like game performance is a lot worse now, but my performance is fine for everything else.
What if God actually has limited bandwidth, or like he can only actually focus on one thing at a time?
Well, that's a hypothetical.
Yeah, like why is it always? Just real quick, why is it always that God has like infinite capabilities? Like what like?
Well, you have to think about
evidence
like
of that?
what is God responsible for. You might want to ash that, but anyway.
I'm gonna try not doing that.
Okay. Well, anyway. So, for example, there's a theory called occasionalism, and for example, in that theory, there is no independent causality. There is no independent cause and effect process system. Instead, God is considered the cause of everything. So, for example, the fact that the wood that we're sitting on or whatever, the fact that this wooden platform is not collapsing at every moment is the intervention of God, making sure the wood stays straight.
Okay, I can see that.
Yeah. So, like, if God is truly infinitely powerful and present, then he's totally capable of doing that, no problem. Because no matter how much matter there is in the universe, it's still finite.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that he can pay attention to every human at once. Like, just because he can do one thing doesn't mean he can do everything.
I think that sometimes we're humanizing God too much. I think sometimes we're thinking of too much of him like an actual person. And I know sometimes we need to do that, but I think if we want to be at the next level, we have to like dehumanize God to some extent.
Yeah, but does it even make sense to have one God though?
To some extent.
Like, why would there not be competition?
I mean,
gods?
I think that's totally plausible. I just think at least maybe one of the gods just defeats the others. One god might be strong enough to defeat the others and dominate, which is plausible for our scenario. Like, maybe the one true God is the most powerful God, or the God with the best strategy over the other gods.
Yeah.
Most ambitious God.
Yeah. Well, I kind of think what this discussion is proving is that we definitely don't know. It's definitely fascinating to think about because I feel like there's a lot of different possibilities how this actually works.
Yeah. It might not be possible to know, but I think to the extent that we can theorize or articulate what we think is possible, I think we should.
Oh, for sure.
That's part of my mission. Buy my book, if it exists. I don't know when you're watching this, but I want money and fame. No cap.
Yeah, no cap. We do not have hats on right now.
Exactly. It's just like a Drilla song. I just got an email.
Oh my God, from who?
One of my customers. I just rescheduled their appointment. So they agreed to the appointment, so I'm getting extra money. Because of their compliance, I'll earn at least another $60 tomorrow. So that's enough to pay for a full tank of gas.
Yeah.
Or 3 cigars.
I like this little hole, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
What does that remind you of?
It's the optimal.
Don't say it out loud.
It's the optimal shape. Can you see this?
You know,
Look at that shape. It's the perfect shape for this purpose.
I like to use 2 hands, more efficient.
Sometimes I don't know if he's serious or not.
Like, why have the other hand doing something else? Simplify.
I'm chilling.
People only use one hand to do things to show off.
So you're anti-flexing. He's anti-flexing. Wow.
Does God need to flex?
I don't know if he needs anything.
Trying to be more like God.
Carry your cross.
I might could do it.
Right.
I might could carry that same amount of weight. I've never tried.
Yes.
And if I got people like booing at me or cheering me on, whichever,
Spin on you.
that could motivate me.
Die, Adam, you criminal.
Like, it might have actually been really easy for Jesus to do what he did because he had motivation from the haters.
Or God power.
Yeah, literally.
I mean, that's the entire doctrine that he's God. So why to me, like, I think about that, like, so, like, maybe he felt no pain, like, maybe he could have died without any pain, like, maybe he already knew in advance he was going to get resurrected.
Mm-hmm.
Like, maybe he just had, like, infinite power to just carry weights if he wants to. Like, why not?
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Why does he not just, what if, like, how much do we really know the particles that are, like, moving through us but aren't necessarily, like, strongly interacting, but there's a lot of them, and the weak interaction that they have causes sort of godlike presence to happen within someone sometimes.
That's at least partially plausible.
It's like, why not? There's so much that we can't detect, I think.
You got, like, alpha particles, beta particles, gamma particles, probably.
I just imagine you insulting someone and being like, we got a lot of beta particles.
You're getting penetrated by a bunch of beta particles. We only accept alpha particles. But you've probably gotten some photons. You probably have some potassium. Potassium, I think, is radioactive.
Would you rather be the only alpha that exists, or for everyone to be an alpha?
I don't know. It depends on. If I could also control who lives, I would choose the second option.
James wants to be a warlord, by the way, everyone. That's why he plays Total War.
Yeah, I literally played Total War in the coffee shop 2 days ago. So I was watching this like cinematic of people fighting each other and they're like killing each other like straight up, and like I was thinking to myself, if someone sees this over my shoulder, what do they see? What does it look like to them? Because to me this is exciting. To me this is fun, but other people might not think that way.
When they watch Total War, is what you're saying?
Yeah. Like a cinematic.
Yeah, I would rather you watch you play Rocket League. Like I would actually watch an entire video. So it's like that proves that there are preferences. Because I think if you were just playing Rocket League, you'd have a fan me. There's probably just not that many Total War players, but most of them are watching like 3 main channels or something.
Well, I don't know about that, but Total War, I can say, is a dying franchise because they don't believe in God.
Yeah.
They're not doing right by their customers.
Yeah.
So they used to have a really good game engine until 2009. In 2009, they switched to a really shitty game engine, and then they never fixed it. They never fundamentally fixed it. They only put band-aids on the problem. And for over...
They fired all the engineers that came before them.
Probably. It was...
And they just...
After the recession, they...
messed the code up.
After the recession, they just got a really shitty game engine. They'd be better off switching to the old game engine at this point. They'd literally make a better game that way.
Yeah. I feel like usually probably what happens is they build... for like a certain game, the engine's like not generic. It's not a platform. It's like written specifically to run this version of the game. And then they try to take that and they try to build on top of it, but really they need to rewrite it. Like they just need to ditch it and rewrite it. And use some of the algorithms.
I mean, sometimes that's true, and they had some legitimate reason to go to a new game engine. But even from the start, it was fucked up. Even from the first game they used the engine, the game was fucked up. So I can explain. For example, in the original engine, if 2 men charge each other, you can tell that each one has mass, that they basically behave realistically in the sense that they can't phase through each other. So every character on the battlefield takes physical space properly.
As they should.
And then in the new version, they made it so that soldiers can phase through each other. And they
even enemy versus player. Like
yeah, even soldiers who are fighting each other might phase through each other. And soldiers, instead of pushing each other, they'll phase into each other.
It's so less satisfying.
Yeah.
It's like, give me my interaction. Like, of course I like that.
We need proper particle interactions. Every soldier is a particle.
Yeah, I'm trying to simulate warfare. The individual soldier matters. It's not about like just zooming out and just watching the numbers and just to see who like I actually care about the individual piece on the board. Like,
right.
It's important in terms of the field.
Creative Assembly, if you hear me, give me $30 right now, or I'm gonna say more. You need to make a deal.
Creative Assembly?
Yeah, that's the studio. They fucked up.
Let me have access to your code.
He can fix it.
If you, literally, I guarantee, if they paid me just 100 grand and gave me 6 months,
wow,
I could fix this with no prior knowledge.
I believe it.
I can just figure it out.
Right.
I'm a human, general intelligence. It's not like I need to be fucking, like, studied this for years. Like, I guarantee you, I could look at another RTS that does this, like, connect the dots, just learn about the whole thing. Like, I could get there in 6 months. If you can get access to the previous engine, you can probably just make some adjustments and make a much better game. Yeah, they're gonna give me part of it is I need their source code, so
right.
I'm gonna at least get access to that. And they just let me do this over 6 months. They don't worry about it.
Right.
And I'll fix it without affecting the main game. They can still do development, and then I'll hot swap it out.
Okay. I started thinking about something else though.
But you know what, man?
What?
Probably won't go down that way. I bet that fucking code is a mess. I bet I have to rewrite everything to make it work. like it might be at such a fundamental level how that works. So
Well,
many things might be tied to that interaction.
I mean, do you think that'd be true for every year version? Like, if we go back to like a certain version when the game was properly running, like maybe the code was cleaner too. I think the current code for the new engine is fucked up, probably for sure. But I feel like the code for the older version, if you go back to like 2008, I feel like that version of the code would be pretty clean.
Yeah. Dude, I wonder if it's like performance. I wonder if like they can just turn it on. They have 2 modes. Like they could turn that on, but they don't because they realize it fucking lags. Let's turn this shit off.
Wait. Do you mean like 2 different game engines?
No, like in Unity you can set how objects collide.
Oh.
So like they might have prefabs for these soldiers where they can like toggle settings on them, like toggle how their hitbox interacts, stuff like that. Like they might have an actual hitbox. Because you can't run through a wall, can you?
Right.
So why don't they have the same type of system for the moving objects in the game? But it makes no difference. Like what a wall and the character, I mean, they're just both derived from the same core fundamental things. You can manipulate these things, act however you want. So I feel like there's performance reasons. But also, man, if they didn't code a good collision, like, it's a lot easier to code an interaction to like hit a wall, but to hit like another moving target, like how that should go down.
All right, I need to add some information. Partially why they switched to this new engine was for the simulation of ranged warfare. So the game before was a medieval warfare game, and then they switched to early modern warfare with muskets. And so they started focusing on projectile physics over melee physics. So that was partially why they did this. And another reason was that they started using motion capture. And they put a really big emphasis on having dudes in like motion capture suits like do fancy moves with melee. But if you look at the previous games, the move set for the soldiers was much simpler, and it was actually better that way. Like, I don't need a soldier to do like all these fancy like bullshit roly-toly moves. Like, if they just do a simple motion, that's good enough.
Doing good, yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Sure. So anyway, what do you think about all that?
I missed the last part of what you said.
All right. So they prioritized projectile physics. And
the first games you couldn't do projectiles.
No, they still have projectiles, but it was simulated differently.
Yeah.
They had a different emphasis, focus.
So they improved it, though, you think? The projectiles in the new game?
At least for guns. So
it does feel better in some respects.
Yeah, so the gun physics are better, but the melee physics are worse, and the bow physics are worse. So, for me, if they're going to move it out of era, they need to do it properly. They can't cut quarters on the fundamentals.
Yeah.
Anyway, I was saying something else actually. So the other thing is the other mistake they made with the engine is they prioritized fancy motion capture. So they placed too much emphasis on having fancy moves. But actually, it's much better to focus on fundamental moves. Like start with just simple moves, simple attacks. That's better than trying to be too fancy if it's going to mess up the physics engine. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I think I did miss the last part of what you said, sorry. But I agree with what you're saying. I mean, the fundamentals of the game really do matter. And that's why StarCraft 2 is such a great game.
Right.
So, I think it's too fast for a lot of people.
By the way, Adam, there's some other RTS games I want to talk about.
Stormgate?
Well, there's Stormgate and Age of Empires.
New footage came out for Stormgate.
What do you think?
Did you watch it?
No. You have to just tell us now.
I think, and this is their most recent beta footage, alpha footage.
Alpha footage?
It's still alpha. It's not pre-alpha anymore.
Maybe Giga Chad. Go ahead.
It does look promising.
Did they fix the issues that we talked about?
They said it has. People are saying it has a really low latency, which is good. It seems like they're really focusing on core game engine. Like they really do get that. Like the reason the game is good, like Blizzard's secret sauce.
Yeah.
Is that game engine code?
Right.
Like they got so lucky with engineers for StarCraft. I mean, they're so
engineers.
They're so blessed with their talent. There are so few guys out there that can do this. There's so few. There's so few. Like that have the talent. Otherwise, you just see this in all the studios, like this kind of. But it just you don't see it because there's just like a few dudes that are just sitting like back and they're like 10 of them probably. You know what I mean? They just have this knowledge about how to write an RTS engine.
Adam.
What?
I had an idea.
What was your idea?
On the internet, on a specific web page, I should refer to myself as the systematizer.
Systematizer?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then take that on as a title or a description of myself. And I think that'd be an improvement.
Yeah.
I think it'd be unique. Uncommon, per se. Anyway, I'm sorry, but honestly, I have to admit, I'm not very interested in Stormgate myself. You know, I
think I'm more interested in you, but I'm also like not too interested. But I'm like sometimes should I create a YouTube channel like and try to get into this? But I gotta like
just be real.
You just gotta be real.
Yeah, just tell the people what you really think.
Right. Like, what are you really interested in? They'll know if you're not.
Yeah, if you're not really interested in it, you're basically a shill. Like you're implicitly selling out somehow. If you're gonna
like
be
overacting.
Yeah, if you're gonna act too excited, if you don't really care about it. I think God wants us to be real.
Yeah, you get rewarded.
Yeah. I think honesty might be the most important virtue. Might be the most important trait a person could have.
Dude, it makes so much sense why we have trials in life. Like, because it's just so rewarding when you overcome them. Like, imagine life with no hardships, no trials.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, who the fuck wants to do that? Who wants to be born as an angel?
It's kind of boring, right?
Right. You want to earn that.
It's a good question. Man.
Like, to become an angel, you must experience death. Like, what a stark contrast.
Right.
It's like, death is one of the biggest
I mean,
you could be punished.
It's kind of different from what the Bible says, I think. Or what the Bible implies. I don't know. But the angels tend to have human names.
Dude, if I read the Bible, I think I would get into it. I'd get hooked.
Yeah.
I'm tempted to go in the Scientology, Church of Scientology. I'm like looking at it, I'm like, what's going on in there? I want to know. Like, just curiosity. Like, but I know if I go in there, they're gonna fucking...
Something bad's gonna happen to you.
Yeah, like they're gonna...
I don't know what, but like, there's gonna be some tension.
Yeah.
Some
How
weird...
are they gonna act? They're gonna act weird, right?
Yeah.
But what if they're just super nice? And that's how they get you. Like,
hello.
They're like, let's not like, don't. They're like, listen, the documentaries, it's all fake. They're gonna be like, if you walk in there and you ask about documentaries, what do they say?
I don't know.
They're like, and you're like, you guys are working with CIA, I think. Are you guys working with CIA?
What?
Or like what?
Scientologists?
Are they? I don't fucking know.
I don't know. I mean, they don't believe in God.
What do they do? What do they do wrong?
I mean, they manipulate people. They'll force people to stay in the group.
Blackmail.
What?
Blackmail and stuff?
I don't know. Just like, if you try to leave, they'll hunt you down.
Isn't it
They'll
weird
hurt
how
you.
we have one here?
What?
Church of Scientology here?
I guess.
It's over there by Coffee Water Lab. It's
Wow.
just across the street. They have like a camera outside that you can see at the front. I feel like they're monitoring the whole thing. And I saw some cars parked there today. They were parked there for quite some time. And you cannot see in.
They probably do some weird stuff.
And it's like 2 stories. It looks kind of like a nice building too. Like, I wonder how the inside looks.
Okay.
I feel like the whole thing is to draw your curiosity. Also, they use the cross.
Oh.
They use the cross with a symbol in front of it.
That tells you what their priorities are.
There's something in front of the cross. They're like, this is the missing piece. It's like, you thought it was
They
just
say this is the priority. This is the center. The core.
What if, though, some crazy miracle, it's actually the truth? Like,
They don't act that way. That's not how they live.
they're bad people.
They're bad people.
They're gonna be like, hearing us talk shit. Like, right over the fence. There's Scientology spies everywhere.
Dude, I heard some bad stuff about Sam Altman recently.
I've heard some stuff. Oh, have you heard some critics?
Yeah,
I would love it. I want to hear bad shit about Sam Altman.
I heard he does some bad stuff or some weird stuff.
What do you do?
I heard that he brings, he has a system of bringing young college-age men to his home, so to speak.
Okay.
Apparently that's his preference. And I guess he just has like a rotation or something, or just a pipeline. One of my friends told me about that. That's what my friend said. And it reminds me of some people that we've heard of in the news a few months ago, or longer. Well, you know, like one of those like island dudes, one of the guys who might have an island, right? With a special plane.
I know what you're talking about.
Right, that guy.
And the people associated with that guy?
Yeah. So to me, it's very reminiscent. This man, I was talking about this with my boy recently, who said, no, I was actually making this point, that the people who are in power, many of them sell their soul to the devil, to Satan. And then on top of that, some people will make oaths to secret societies in the pursuit of power and success. They sell out. And, you know, the Bible says that the world is controlled by the devil, dominated by the devil. And so, in general, many people who are famous and powerful and successful sold out. They sold out their moral compass in the pursuit of power.
Yeah, and I do suspect Sam Altman to hold that philosophy with the way he operates. I mean, like, don't pay attention to what he says, but just look at his track record recently.
Right.
Like the path that he's on, like he says, I mean, he plays it off really well. I mean, it's possible that he's a good guy, but it's a little sus. It seems a little too good to be true. Like
look at his face. Is that the face of an honest man?
I feel like I'm being convinced that AI will be good for me, but I don't think it's true.
It's dangerous. I mean, we're already dependent on it. We're already using it.
Yeah, like these apps, I'll use it to
and then
engage.
recording the conversations. They have
like
the
an AI
data.
will be used to sort this video on people's feeds.
Right. To advertise
Everyone's
this video.
chance to see it will be different.
Right. Based on their track record. And then like predictive patterns based on your behavior. So I think that the YouTube algorithm is the least effective when you're trying to change yourself. The YouTube algorithm will give you what you want if you're okay with staying in place. Like if you're not trying to change yourself, the algorithm is satisfactory.
What do you mean by change yourself?
Well, like for example, like maybe I was watching some gaming content, but maybe I want to switch to self-improvement. if I was watching gaming content, it's just going to feed me based on what I used to watch. Like, I don't think it fully predicts or understands what you're going through in the moment. So you have to, like, basically tell it how to act based on the videos you search for, the videos you click.
Yeah. It's just constantly responding, and in a way that is like very based on prediction. Like it's just trying to predict what you might like.
Based on past behavior.
And even based on behavior of the overall system. Like that's how videos go viral, is it's like all these humans over here that have a strong connection that we determine will also see the same content, but one of the groups watched it first, then spreads to the related groups based on how well the first group has received it. So like once your video gets 1,000 views, now other people are going to start seeing it that would have never watched your channel before.
Sorry, I was thinking about something else.
Yeah. But it compounds. Like the reason Mr. Beast gets so many views
is because of how many views he's got.
Exactly.
It's cumulative.
Like when the algo sees a Mr. Beast, it's like, ooh, tentacles.
If you open the default page, that's what you see. A lot of people don't even have YouTube accounts.
Yeah.
So they just get fed the automatic page.
Yeah.
So that's where a lot of views come from. Not so much from the deep stuff or the obscure stuff. That's less likely to appear on a random homepage.
Yeah. I wonder how much human manipulation is in it.
I don't know. I'm kind of hungry. Well, I'm also like intoxicated on the cigar.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah. It's legal.
Yeah.
Wow.
As it should be.
Right.
If you did this once a month, you're totally fine.
Basically, I mean,
almost no health effects. That's how I treat it. And I feel, and I just enjoy it. And I think about it sometimes. It is addicting. So we got to be careful. Everyone, be careful. Smoke.
The important thing is what's in your heart. Why are you doing it? Is it to avoid your problems or to experience happiness? That's what I think.
Straight up.
Hey Adam.
Yeah.
What do you think about the music created by Drilla?
I was listening yesterday on how to make your rap voice better, and it reminded me of Drilla.
Yeah.
And I thought about how there are some good aspects of his music, but and I think overall he is like an okay rapper, but I think if he would just apply some technique, he could really up his game.
Right.
Like he slurs in between words, he needs to enunciate a little better. Which slurring can be like a style, but I feel like there's something
kind of
off about it.
Yeah. It's kind of like obnoxious.
But I like his beats.
Yeah.
They're very hardcore. And it's very like real and scary. Like I appreciate it. I feel like I'm really inside that lifestyle. Like it does like fun.
It's immersive. It's like I don't know who these people are, but they're getting dissed. Like he's pissing on, like he's trash talking.
Yeah, when those guys that he's talked about listen to it, are they just like
pissed off?
Angry?
Yeah, like angry, like sad, like turn that shit off, bro. Come on, don't play Drilla here.
You're like, did you just fucking mention me?
God damn.
Like,
bro, he's making music to his enemies. He's singing to his enemies. It's battle music, conflict. pure conflict.
And it's just like, look at all the guns I have, be scared of me. And like, if let's say you're a smaller gang and you're like, man, he has like 30 guns and we have like 10. And he's talking shit about us.
Right.
Because he's still small scale, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I bet he doesn't talk shit about gangs that have more guns than him. That'd be very unwise.
Ah.
Because they know over time they're gonna fucking win because they're just gonna drive by your house more times than you and just fucking shoot your house up with AK-47s. And that's just how it fucking goes down.
Right.
Puff that shit. Oh yeah. Now it's lighting up.
Right. So Adam, this is a bit personal, but why do you think I like Drilla more than, you know, similar rappers or whatever?
Accidentally inhaled.
What timing?
Hello? Okay. What
Yeah.
was your question?
All right.
I had to check my voice, see if it's still working.
Right. Why do you think I like Drilla in particular?
I think you like small timers. I think you enjoy that. It's obscure, so that makes it interesting. Like it's like the Drilla is like maybe the best rapper of that category. Like he does feel an important niche. Where it's like, here's a Chicago gang member, gang leader,
Right.
who like does whatever he wants. He's very confident. He'll just dance in front of the camera with like guns and rap.
Right.
Like, make money off the rapping. You know, he just has.
He's like a warlord, actually.
Yeah, and it's like real. It's raw. Like the rich rappers don't actually do any of that stuff anymore. Like the reason they started rapping was maybe to get out of that.
Right.
And they just rap about the old times. Like they don't really go around and do that.
Right.
They're risking way too much at this point.
Right.
Now sometimes they do get shot though.
Sure.
Migos, one of their members died. The 3 Migos.
Right. Anyway.
Takeoff.
Right. So maybe Drilla is like real. Do you think Drilla is real? Do you think it's authentic?
He is.
I'm surprised that he can live that way. It's like, I feel like he's an agent of chaos. Like, if he really acts the way that he says he does, like, it's just chaos to that entire area.
I think he's probably one of the smartest among his group.
That's what I think.
And he picks his battles very carefully.
Right.
Like, if Drilla goes to a party, he's bringing like 10 other dudes with him. It's like, if you want to take this guy down, you gotta kill these other 10 other fucking guys. He might kill you.
Right.
You might die in the process of trying to defeat your enemy. And how much loyalty do you really have? I mean, are you really a tight gang, or are you fucking bullshit? Like, this is how they get stomped out early.
Wow.
You get disbanded because you're scared. You get threatened. Like, you don't want to be in Drilla's song. Like, he's not going to call you out if you can defeat him. That doesn't make sense.
Right.
He wants you to stop.
Did you remember the 51 Dead Ops video? You've seen it in music videos, right? Like, he has a gun. His dudes have guns. Like, you got the Glocks and the 9s and the FNs and the AKs.
He has a lot of fans.
Right. So you can host like 50 people in a house party if he wants.
And I bet if you kill Drilla, you're a dead man. Think about it.
Right.
They're gonna come after you.
Like, you killed our guy. You killed our
People
musician.
talk.
Yeah.
People talk.
Right.
It's hard to. I mean, he's gonna have guys around him. Like, how are you gonna kill him without being seen? It's just not gonna happen.
Right.
He can't be assassinated. It has to be full gang on gang. Like, the way Drilla goes down is if he makes a mistake where he like threatens another equal gang, and he might overall even win the war, but he could die in the process.
Wow.
So he basically needs to avoid war. So anytime war happens and he's around, he has a chance to get shot.
I noticed that he tended to brag about the same enemies repeatedly. So, like, for some reason he talked about Babo. It's like he might have been the one to kill that man, or one of his men killed that guy.
Yeah, he's like literally conquered other men. It's like literally.
Yeah, so he's possibly killed some people, you know?
Dude, how they survive is banding together. Like, why do you think gangs exist? It's a support system.
Right.
It's like going to church. It's like, but you gotta contribute to the gang. How do you contribute to the gang? Well, you're gonna need a gun, first of all, because we do
at least a knife.
What we do
or something.
is we go and rob some shit. And like go and like
a
take
mission
something from somebody.
It's like
we do it real quick and we get out.
It's a tactical mission. It's war.
They cover up your face. There's nothing they can do.
Yeah.
They can identify it. Throw away all the clothes you wore. Burning clothes.
I don't know how they do it. They just brag about shooting people. It's crazy.
No, they probably make money through selling drugs. That's likely what they do. They don't like steal. Stealing's so stupid because you get caught.
Yeah.
Selling drugs, as long as you have a good trust network, you can do it without getting caught. But it's about like one of your guys gets caught, you need to pay him off a little bit.
To like take the hit.
Yeah. To like not say anything. And just take the jail time.
It's like insurance. Because obviously the guy who gets caught, he has an incentive to not confess. Like, he doesn't. If you become a snitch, like, you lose your credibility for life.
Tekashi 6ix9ine, I think he's in trouble for snitching on someone right now to get less in jail time. So they took him to like out of the country.
I think that's why people snitch on the leader, but not vice versa as much. That's why Sam Bankman-Fried's going down with the ship. Like, that might be his last pride. to not like.
You know who he invested in?
Who?
Anthropic. FTX bought a huge stake in Anthropic, which is an OpenAI competitor. They have an AI called Cloud. It has like a 400,000 context window. It can take in entire books and then talk to you about it.
Wow.
So that's
Is it
their
free?
advantage. And they're training a new one. They say, we're going to retain AI.
Wow.
And they just invested like billions of dollars.
Are they doing better
$5
because, like, are they making more progress because it's a different approach from a large language model?
We're just like, we're going to do a longer training run. We're going to spend more money on GPUs.
So why do you think the GPT is limited to 2021? Like, I feel like they could have made it more recent, or they could update it. I don't know why it's like that.
There were some advancements in technology. And sometimes it's hard to figure out how to get it just right, especially when you scale. So you're like, okay, we have an algorithm. How do we know if it works? Because you have to do months and months of training to get the desired output. So your time between, like, when you're guessing, like, let's say you're like, okay, I think this will work. Then you do your training run, and then you kind of see, like, maybe some of the way through what the performance is. But you don't really know until the end, like, how good it's going to be. So you make a tweak, it takes like 3 months to see if it works. You make another tweak, it takes another 3 months. So you can see why it would take a long time, right?
Yeah.
We're limited by the speed at which we can train these models.
So you think that could be accelerated at some point?
Likely the algorithms get better, and likely the compute gets faster. So both are converging into one.
Okay.
To where, feasibly you could train a model within like seconds eventually.
Right.
But so you can really easily test changes, and we're just trying to tweak it just right until we can get AGI.
Wow.
Do, like new techniques. We're like, oh, this should probably work theoretically. Like, there's researchers that are like on a fucking chalkboard drawing out matrices, fucking nodes. They're like, oh, if we connect this node over here, we have these backup nodes that the AI will reference if it feels this way. We'll have a reward point over here if it does this specific thing. We'll do some advanced calculus to figure out like what the reward should be in this like 1/100 million situation, like chance situation, like what it should do. We'll just optimize everything.
I was thinking about something.
And then you get a machine that can act as you.
What?
Scan your body and act as you. That's how advanced we're talking.
Yeah.
Scan your body, replicate you, become you instantly, like in seconds.
In video form.
Just for fun. If you ask it.
You said that's possible right now? Okay.
But anything that you think is possible, like within the laws of physics, an AI might be able to figure that out. Because intelligence is kind of like, how well do you know physics? At least like in terms of capability. Maybe not that other stuff. But how good does your philosophy come if you knew physics fully?
200% better.
Yeah. So that's gonna be a good advantage.
I could go for a physics degree. I don't know. I just want someone to pay for my education. I don't want to go into debt. Someone should pay for me to go to school. They should give me money. Because I have knowledge.
Well, I think more than anything, you have the connections within your brain. Like you're able to group connections in a way that would allow you to accomplish maybe even your wildest dreams, but you're missing maybe a core philosophy, a core component that could be holding you back possibly.
You know, Adam, you make me feel like I need to read Plato.
I need to read Plato.
What?
I need to read Plato more than you. But yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to take your spotlight.
Let's both read Plato.
Okay, I'll read it. It's going to be my first philosophy book I've ever read.
Praise God.
But before this point, I'll say I had invented my own philosophy. It may not be that sophisticated, but I did have one without the influence of others.
Wow.
But the influence of others is important.
Sure.
It gets you like way ahead because philosophers just build on each other, right? Like, that's how you advance it.
Well, that's part of it.
Or you can go way off, I guess.
I don't think I think to be a good philosopher, you need primary perception. Like, you need your own primary perception that's distinct to you.
But it's always related to something, right? From our previous philosophers. Like, oh, he's kind of like this.
Everybody's responding to someone else, but that's not the whole story. That's my point. Like, we have to consider that each one is kind of bringing something in from his own experience into it, if he's really noteworthy as a philosopher. If he only responds to other people, he's boring. Yeah. Every good philosopher also has an interesting personality. even if it's negative. Well, anyway, I think we should close it here.
Let's call it there.
It's actually about to be 60 minutes.
Wow, that's a long one.
3, 2, 1, 1 hour.
I hope it picked up my voice well. I just realized it was so far away.
It worked last time. I don't know.
That's true.
I think you're gonna be like 50 to 75%. I think it'll be good enough.
Okay. We could do an equalizer too. Do some software processing on that.
I don't know how to do that, but theoretically, if it was done, I would use that for my video.
I think I have an app that could do it, but I don't know about for a 60-minute video.
I don't
That's
know.
some processing. I could figure it out.
It's not urgent. I'll just post it as it is.
Okay, fair enough.
All right.
Peace out, everyone.
First of all, I need to say thank you for watching the video, and please, first of all, like the video, and then save this to your playlist, and then leave a comment, and then subscribe to the YouTube channel, and then watch one of my other videos. That's my advice. That's my request. I humbly ask of you. Thank you for watching this video. It has been me and Adam. Thank you for your contribution.
Oh, shit.
Wow.
Thank you, sir.
Tobacco works. Make sure to believe in God and tell the truth.